Bloody Knox, as it turns out, was not as bloody as you might imagine, but it was something that was memorable in the history, especially of Clearfield County, which is sort of the center of that Appalachian region that I focused on. And it was essentially the one major armed clash between soldiers and draft resistors. And the way it occurred is that in December of 1864, when the U.S. government sent its expedition into the mountains, it gained intelligence from local people who were willing to rat out Democratic neighbors that there was a gang of toughs. And if you'll remember from my citation of the report, the U.S. government is expecting that there are literally hundreds of men armed, organized, and camped in a fort. And so they were ready for resistance. And they got word that the most notorious individual, a man by the name of Tom Adams, who himself was a deserter from a Pennsylvania regiment, that he was the ringleader of this region and that he was holding a party that would be held before they scattered to the winds and would never be seen again. And so the military sent a detachment immediately to arrest Tom Adams. And they caught them in the middle of their party in the evening in December. Well, Tom Adams wouldn't go quietly. He decided he would try to escape. And so the first thing he did was he went to the second floor of his house and shot one of the soldiers who was waiting outside from a second-story window. But then he tried to jump down to the ground and run for his life and was promptly shot by some of the soldiers who had surrounded the house already. So Bloody Knox was an event in which the ringleader of this gang of desperados was murdered as he tried to flee, and of course one of the members of the VRC, the Veteran Reserve Corps, were also murdered in the process. So Bloody Knox involved 2 deaths. And so what I say about that is that it illustrates that some men were willing to embrace violence in opposition to the war, but that the levels, in comparative terms, is very mild. If of that 1,800 suspected men, only 1 man offered violent resistance, then I'd say that the conspiracy the Republicans had created was not quite everything that it was supposed to be.